YouTube. I am excited because this is probably going to be the first vlogging style video that I've ever done. Today we're going to talk about my workout split. We're going to talk about what the style of my haircut is. We're going to talk about what's in this ice chest and why I have it in this ice chest. We're going to talk about YouTube, why I love it so much. And it's kind of going to take me all day to do this, so be patient with me. But this is probably the most similar or closest video I've ever done to a day in the life with Thor Bradley. So here we go. I'm loving YouTube and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. Let's get to it. Now it's probably pretty refreshing to see an influencer or a creator who makes their living on social media, not in a fancy, super nice, shiny building every fucking video or in fancy cars and stuff. So I'm glad to be that break for everybody if that's the case. But this is just one of the back rooms in my garage, and it's where I keep my freezers. The cool thing is this room is insulated and it's got power and everything, so I can keep my game freezers in here. I know we were talking about that ice chest. I have switched almost exclusively to eating game meat. I grew up as a kid doing a little bit of hunting, but as life went on and college came about and career and all that stuff, I kind of just got into the groove of the grocery store life. Now I don't have anything against that lifestyle. This is not a political statement at all. But as you guys know, I really do enjoy connecting with my resources. I like the idea of having lean meat that has more nutrients in it. I like the idea of getting a tag for an animal that my state needs, you know, management for. So yeah, we're not here to argue politics and the ethics of it and stuff like that. I totally respect everybody's way of life and everybody's way of eating. My favorite way of eating and living is just hunting and harvesting animals that are deemed manageable. So with that said, I just want, a lot of people have a lot of interest in it. I have picked up butchering, so now I'm learning a lot about butchering through books, through a couple of lessons with a buddy that I have, a couple buddies that I have in the wild game hunting space. So it's been just a total learning experience. I'm having a blast with it. It's something new. My father was a butcher and he was an arborist. I do both of those things now, so I really take a lot of pride in this connection now that I have with the things that I do. Now, my buddy Dawson, D-A-W-S-O-N, and my other buddy Eddie Patterson both live in the central area of California. One of them lives sort of up in the foothills, and the other one lives down towards Paso Robles, or Paso Robles, depending on how you pronounce it. I think Paso Robles is the least we can do for the Spanish influence here in California. But anyway, long story short, they have a ton of wild hogs on their property. And we have a ton of wild hogs on public land here in California. And we have too many, depending on who you ask, but they need to be managed. And they have gotten really loose with how many tags you can have, and they really just want people harvesting these animals. So those are the ones I'm actually currently focusing on. I will do about probably 2 wild hogs a year, and then 2 deer each year, whitetail bucks. So anyway, I want to show you guys why I love it so much. This freezer is absolutely full, and you can tell this still has to be trimmed a little bit. I'm not perfect, obviously, but this is how lean you can tell wild hog meat is, how red it is, and how different it looks from pig. Now, fun fact about me, I actually cannot eat pork. I've been told I have an intolerance. It feels like I'm allergic when I eat it. I get really sick, similar to how people who have gluten allergies deal with food. So when I eat wild boar, it's nice because I get that connection with pork again that I loved as a kid. I'm sure it's just something that they feed, pigs and, domestic pigs, or it might be antibiotics they give them to get rid of trichinosis, whatever it is, trichinella. But wild boar I can eat. So with that, at some point we'll do a little butchering talk, we'll do a little bit of cooking. It's not going to be today. Today we were just going to talk about that. But I love wild boar. Just know that if you eat it, you should be cooking it to temperature. to make sure you are not going to get sick from trichinosis. But that was very long-winded. Maybe I could trim that for you guys if it's getting boring. But that's the beginning of this video. Next we're going to talk about YouTube, my award that I got from YouTube. Haircut. It's a commonly asked question. We're going to talk about my current workout split, and then I'm going to leave you guys alone for the day. So let's move on to the next thing. So I love YouTube. That's not an ad. They don't even know who I am. They don't care. But well, they care because they sent me an award. But I'm not saying it because they're telling me to. I'm saying it because there's a unique opportunity for me on YouTube to be a little more me, if you know what I mean. Never scripted. I don't live a very lavish lifestyle, as you guys can obviously tell. I mean, this shirt is from when I was like 18. I make my living on the internet, but I'm not living a sparkly lifestyle. And I think one of the coolest things is that I've been offered a lot of money to do a lot of stupid shit. TikTok is probably a big reason for that because of how big my audience is on TikTok. But I get offered money all the fucking time to do reality TV shows or sell out for some silly thing. And I'm very choosy. I pick and choose the stuff I want to do because I love my life the way that it is. And I'm not selling that out to be in the middle of LA or go do some lifestyle that doesn't speak to me. YouTube is super dope because I feel like my audience here on YouTube, so I want to really thank you guys. Let's not make this corny or cheesy, but I really do want to thank you guys because you're here for my intellect, you're here for my lifestyle, you're here for my little tips, my advice, you're here for me, like a realer version of social media. And I got a YouTube award that I'm very proud of because I just recently picked up YouTube. It's new for me. You guys know I haven't been on here very long. And I was able to hit 100,000 subscribers with this YouTube play button, and it means a lot to me. For the reasons I listed, I don't talk about followers much. You won't ever see me do like we hit 1 million on TikTok. I never do any of that stuff. It's not really my style because I feel like it makes people feel less than to constantly brag about achievements. So it's not really my style. This one though, I am gonna brag about a little bit just because I'm very grateful for you guys. And YouTube reflects more of my intellect, it reflects more of me, my lifestyle, and what you guys are actually here for. So fucking thank you, because this one's awesome, and this one actually does mean something to me, even though it is 100% my smallest follower or subscriber metric on any platform, because it's my smallest platform. It still means the most to me. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Now, one of the questions I do get on social media all the time is, what haircut do you get? I just got back from the barber and I asked him because my buddy Steve, his name's Steven Herder, he's like 2 hours away, all the way down in the valley here in Northern California. So I have to drive really far to go see him. But I just tell him to do whatever the hell he wants because he's the expert and it's not my expertise to decide what will look best on me. I just trust him. But I did finally ask him because the internet's been asking me and I don't have an answer. So the name of this haircut, he said, is a mid-drop fade. Mid, M-I-D, drop, D-R-O-P, fade. That's the name of it. I usually just keep it pretty heavy on top because I have really thick hair, and that's the vibe I like to go for now. That's the haircut I'm going with. I'm growing it out a little bit, but I have curly hair, so I'll probably only grow it out like a couple inches. But that's a commonly asked question. I just wanted to get that out of the way because so many people ask about it. I don't pay a lot of money I don't pay any money really for clothes. I just dress down. Pretty much every situation is work pants. If I'm dressing up and going out with friends or something like that, it's like Americana style. It's like Wranglers, Converse, and a button-up shirt or something, or a Henley or something. So I don't obviously spend any money on clothes. But what I will always make sure of is that I have a clean haircut, because that's what I feel like is how I feel more confident. You feel like more me. So everyone's got their own things. I don't spend money on sneakers. I don't spend money on expensive clothes. I don't spend money on you know, trying to stay modern with style. It's not my thing. I'm a 31-year-old man. I want to feel like a man, not like a 18-year-old boy who's trying to ride some hype train. So I just, that's how I live. But I have to have a good haircut, and I've always been that way. So yeah, you guys will notice my hair is almost always taken care of, but I'm not really wearing very special flashy clothes. So that's my lifestyle. That's how I like to live it. I'm happy I'm able to share that hairstyle with you guys because I'm happy you like it. I guess it's Googled quite a bit, so I'm flattered. I'm happy you guys are interested. But again, thank you for this bad boy. I'm gonna keep bringing the education, of course, from my master's degree in exercise physiology to the research that I've done in my life to just the outdoor living to a very simple, rooted lifestyle. All that stuff's gonna be shared. And this YouTube award was a reminder as to why I'm doing it. So thank you guys. Next, we're gonna talk about, I promise I'm not gonna drag this on too long, we're gonna talk about my workout split. So I'm gonna get into my workout clothes. We're gonna walk on up to my gym. We're gonna sit, hang out just for a little bit as I talk about my workout split, as I talk about why you should be training like a girl, why you should be training like a woman, even if you're a guy who wants to build muscle. So you're gonna see I'm not crazy. There's a reason behind what I'm saying, all right? Let's go. It is very wet in California, and that's not one of my TikTok innuendos. That is for real. I don't think I've seen the sun. This is the first time I've seen the sun in like, I'm telling you, it's been like fucking 3 months. It's crazy. If you guys aren't sure, look it up. It's insane. I had 6 feet of snow like 4 days ago. Now I have 6 inches of snow because it's been raining on top of it. It's insane. But this isn't a sob story. I'm just letting you guys know I need some fucking sun. So if anybody has a plug or a hookup to a vacation destination, please. I'm like a vampire and I'm dying out here and I need some sun. But what I haven't been missing is workouts because I have a home gym. So when I get snowed in, well, I'm not really ever snowed in because I have a snowblower, but when I am dealing with the snow, life is beating my ass like it has been. Just to be totally honest with you, I'm tired all the fucking time lately because of the weather. Working my ass off, both with like actual blue collar labor and then the internet. It's just nice to have a gym, man. So I feel very lucky that, it's not luck because I built it, but I feel just very lucky to have a gym this close to my house, connected to my house almost. It's amazing because then I don't have to miss workouts, which is the most important part of me coping with my ADD is exercise. So that ADD doesn't snowball into anxiety. It's a whole thing. So it's just amazing to have. Now, with that said, a lot of people forget that my whole educational career is wrapped around exercise. Exercise science, exercise physiology. It's what I spent my whole educational life studying. And with that said, when I graduated, I was a strength and conditioning coach on the NCAA Division I level. That's not a flex, but what I am talking about here is that most of my experience was actually working with, well, I worked with men and women, but was working with women's sports a lot. Now through that whole endeavor, I found out a lot about how to prevent ACL injuries, which is mostly common in women's soccer. And dealing with how to cope with that led me to find out how important glutes were. So why the hell am I talking about glutes? Well, I am currently on a glute program that I wrote on my app, which is called Dose. You don't have to download it. I appreciate you either way. But I am on my own program, so now you can figure out what my workout split is because I'm legit gonna read it to you. And this workout program is called Maximus. It's a 45-day glute program, which is actually pretty short for a program, but I don't like people to get bored, so I just like giving them an opportunity to adapt to a program and then switch. But we're gonna talk about all the science right now. We're gonna talk about, it's not gonna be too long, I'll try to put it in layman's, but we're gonna talk about all the science after I explain to you what my programming looks like. So, the 45-day, I gotta find it real quick for us. It's right here, pulling up the gym programs. Scroll through, then you'll click your program. Maximus is the one that I'm on. So this is my split. Monday, push day. Tuesday, legs, but anterior, so quads, pretty much. With a little bit of glutes on that quad day. Next day after that is Wednesday, pull day. Pull day. Thursday, cardio day. Friday, posterior legs now, so that would be hamstrings and a little bit of glutes again, but just a small amount of glutes. Hinge day after that, which would be focusing on like an RDL, maybe focusing on a good morning, focusing on a single leg glute reach, something like that. And then the day after that is a rest day. So here's the deal, this is where the science comes from. I am telling you, whether you are a man or a woman, you should be training like a woman. What do I mean by that? Well, women tend to, in the gym, when you watch them, train their fucking legs often, frequently. They like to because they really are looking for a lot of growth and progress, specifically in legs, glutes, quads. Now that's sociologically a whole nother context as to why. Obviously, you know, in society we really put women through the fucking ringer when it comes to expectations on body image. That's not what we're talking about. I'm just talking about the fact that women do often train their legs, and when they come to me, they're looking for more progress in their legs, even if they've been killing it. So, here's the deal. Men tend to try to train legs and go really fucking hard all at once and then not train them for multiple days because they just gutted themselves to get through it. Now, when you look at the science, we used to believe that frequency mattered. Obviously, if you're a natural athlete, we used to say you should train things more frequently. So biceps twice, maybe 3 times a week. Every muscle group should be seen 2 or 3 times a week. That was the minimum when we used to talk about frequency. So if the science says something different than that, what does it say? Well, it says frequency no longer fucking matters. So that's no longer believed to be the truth. In fact, as long as the volume is matched, the frequency doesn't matter at all. So if you get all your workouts, all your volume in for arms one day of that week and then do it again the next day, it turns out that actually works just as good. How the fuck is that possible? Well, as long as you're recovering from the stimulus and then training it frequently enough to grow from it and the volume is fit in, the volume tends to match. So if you do your 40 sets of arms all on one day, or 40 sets of arms spread out through the week, it tends to match same results. But that may be true in the science, it's not true with training. Am I gonna argue science? I absolutely am, because here's the deal. If I had you train all of your leg exercises in one day, what is that last leg exercise actually gonna fucking look like? Let me give you an example. If I do all of my leg exercises today during my leg workout, am I going to be giving it my absolute all and full intensity on the 11th exercise of the day? Fuck no. I'm gonna be tired. You get blitzed, you pick up your phone, you feel hungry, you start to feel like, I did good enough. So you gotta plan for that shit. You gotta plan for the fact that you're human. You gotta plan for the fact that humans get tired, and you gotta plan for the fact that realistically, if you split it up and microdose, I like to call it microdosing, but it's a common way to phrase it. If you microdose these body parts throughout the week, you don't get as bored, you feel like those 4 to 5 exercises that you're doing per workout, you can give it your fucking all, really train yourself hard, and then get out of the gym and recover from it. That's the one you're gonna recover from most, if that's what you're able to do. But maybe your job only lets you get to the gym really 3 days a week, so you gotta put more volume on those days, then that's the one you're gonna recover from. So you've got to assess you as a person, you've got to assess your lifestyle before you can assess the perfect workout regimen. But if I had it my way, I would say, I'd like to work out 7 days a week because it makes me feel good. So if I'm gonna work out 7 days a week, which I'm always gonna make time for because it takes precedent over anything else in the world, I've got to be healthy and okay for the world around me to get the best of me. So I'm gonna work out 7 days a week. Not every one of those days is gonna be knocked down, drag out, squat sessions, etc. So I will add that article, that new finding, the meta-analysis that describes that frequency doesn't matter as much, and then I'll also remind you that frequency does matter because it still matters based on what you're gonna do to train yourself the hardest. So just keep those things in mind. It's crazy to continue to have these conversations that logic and being a balanced person is the best way to do things. It's always gonna be the answer, but I will always be here to continue to tell you, don't listen to the fucking hype. Always listen to what is the most logical way to follow anything. Adherence is what matters. What are you actually gonna fucking do? Not what is perfect in a perfect world, in a vacuum, in vitro, whatever. It's not that. It's gonna be, what are you actually gonna fucking do? And that's why we track macros. That's why we don't follow fad diets. That's why we do workout programs we enjoy. That's why all this stuff fucking matters. So anyway, let's get back to the last point of the day before I start my workout, because I really want to get started here. But I always say, it's kind of just a catchphrase, but I just say you should train like a woman. That's when young men come to me, when men in their 40s or 50s come to me, I say you should train like a woman. I am currently doing a glute program. Love the results, love what I'm doing. It's obviously my programming, but that's just a small tidbit of information I think you should take to heart. Train the legs individually more often. Hit those glutes because the legs will grow as, you know, a holistic piece. Load the tissue well, but protect the knee and the hip complex and the lower back. Doing individual leg training is a great way to do that. We don't do it for every exercise, but we just keep in mind that chasing the numbers of weights for the sake of just being a better squatter is not necessarily going to be the best for your longevity in training. So in my glute program, you'll see a lot of glute movements that really keep the lower back in mind. We're really trying to keep tissue growth, lean muscle, and fat loss in mind. And we're still trying to make sure we're training the upper body. Remember, growth is systemic. It happens throughout the whole body. So if you're able to train your legs with intensity and pretty frequently, you'll get a lot of growth in other places too. So the arms, chest, back, that's what I mean by growth in other places. So don't fucking take that out of context, all right? We are looking at a very long YouTube already, and I'm afraid I'm gonna drag you guys out and make this YouTube too boring. But I'm gonna leave you with that. I hope that this was a fun and enjoyable YouTube. Tell me in the comments what you'd like to see more of, and I will do it. This was all 100% based off request, as you can tell. So we'll do more videos like that. Let me know what you want to see more of, and I will do that for you. All right, guys? Smash that subscribe button. Understand how much I appreciate you. I think I already said that, but it needs to be said again. You guys are fucking awesome. Have an amazing day.